Hey team, how's it going? I'm Corey. Thanks for joining me. Today we're gonna do some Rust WASM front-end experiments. I've been doing more back-endy web stuff in Rust recently, but I want to do some front-end stuff, and we're gonna do it without a framework. We're just kind of gonna dive in. We're gonna use trunk.rs for like integrating all the WASM stuff, but besides that, we're gonna kind of just go without a framework and see what happens today. What we're gonna actually try to build is a pen pal style formatting app. I have a few friends that I've been doing long emails back and forth with, and I want a way to format how we do the quotes. We like take a few paragraphs that we quote, and then we write a response underneath, and I want a way to just make that a little simpler. Slasher just seemed like a fun demo app. So we are going to work on that. But before we do, I wanted to jump into the latest Byte. I said I was going to make a video to wrap these up on Fridays, but I think I might actually just start my stream on the weekend by taking a look at them. So we're going to take a look at Byte number 2. These are available at my site at coreyja.com. You can click on Bytes. CDN is the second one that got published. It was supposed to be 7 days ago, but about 5 days ago now. And so these are little code review coding challenges. So how they work is you can click on this start question here, and you get presented with this GitHub style pull request diff view where you get a explanation of what's going on and then some code to read through, and then you leave a comment where you think the bug is. So I'm going to read through this really quick and I will chat about where the bug was hidden, and then we will hop into Trunk and do some of our WASM front-end coding. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So this is called CDN, and the title of the pull request is Add Image Proxy and Bunny CDN for Images. I set up an instance of, and actually I want to read this really quick before I do that. So this was a real life bug from my blog, from this site that we're looking at right now. I was trying to integrate image proxy to serve different sizes and formats of images and ran into the following bug and thought it would be a fun challenge for everyone to try out. So now I'll hop into the description. I maybe should combine these or make them the same. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I set up an instance of image proxy and a bunny CDN in front to help handle images for me. The idea is that the site can now request images from image proxy and ask for them at specific sizes and dimensions, likely inside a picture HTML element, so the browser can pick the size that's best. These images are part of my blog post and live in a directory with the markdown. The markdown files typically refer to the images directly with local paths. And then I link out to the image proxy docs to be able to take a look. So then let's take a look at the code diff here. So in validate.rs, I give image proxy URL as none. That's just because I have to create this app config instance, but I don't need to deal with the image proxy URL in this validate. But then here we have in the html.rs file within the markdown MD module, we are implementing into HTML for image, and this is what converts the markdown that's been parsed into HTML for me. So into HTML is implemented for all the different types of markdown that we can handle here. So into HTML takes the config, the context, and returns some markup, a result of some markup. So before, all it was doing was creating a little image tag. Wait, what's going on with this diff? Oh, there's a jump in lines here, so this is for something else. But this diff is looking a little funny, so I will remember to take a look at that, because that's not quite how I want that to be. But I think we can basically just look at this part up here. So before, we just took the image and created a little HTML image tag. So we set the source to the self.url, set the alt and the title if they exist, gave it some padding from Tailwind, and told it to lazy load. But now what we're trying to do is create an adjusted URL. So if there is an image proxy URL, we're going to create the adjusted URL by using format bang. We're going to take the image proxy URL, put it at the beginning. We're going to use their unsafe, which just means I'm not signing the thing, and this is all like right in the URL, but for the example, that was perfect. So we're going to use resize and auto, and I think this is 1000 width and not setting the height. I don't remember what the false is. Let's take a look quick. So this is like in processing an image. I think this is the resize. Yeah, so this is enlarge and extend. So we are not wanting to enlarge and not wanting it to extend the image. But if we don't have an image proxy URL, we just use the normal one. This is so like locally, I don't have to funnel everything through image proxy. And then once we have our adjusted URL, we use that for the source. And then we're ignoring this diff because I don't really know why it's even in this diff, to be honest. And then in state, we add the image proxy URL to our app config and grab it from an environment variable when we load it up. And so the bug here is if we go back to reading the description, these images are part of my blog posts and live in the directory with the markdown. The markdown typically refers to the images directly with local paths. So the bug here is that when we take self.url and put it inside this image proxy format, this is a local path to self.url a lot of the time. So let's comment on like right here. Self.url is often a local path from the markdown file to the image. Image proxy won't be able to find the image with a local path. It needs a fully qualified URL. So what was happening was, let me write it out here. Before, we would have an image tag with a source, and it might be something just like /picture.png. And that works great because my markdown file was right next to the image, so it was able to find that nice and easy. But when I changed it to going to like, you know, HTTPS image proxy, proxy doesn't really matter, .coreyja.com, that's also not the URL, but that's okay. And then eventually with this at pic.png at the end, image proxy doesn't know where to look for this image. It needs like to actually have something that looks more like coreyja.com. Man, I cannot type this morning. /pic.png. So the bug is that we don't have the fully qualified URL here. But if we want to solve this problem, we can add this comment. I'm not sure if I hit the save button there or not. Let's click add again. There we go. And then if we scroll up and give the system just a second, it should recognize that we caught our bug. There we go. 1 of 1 bugs caught. I got 100 points. So I will go ahead and submit this. And there we go. We actually have a bug in here that we need to roll out where that was supposed to ask for my username, but right now it's just submitting as anonymous. But now if we check the leaderboard out, we should have 1 anonymous submission with 128 points. I can go hack that in and add my username there, or maybe just delete myself from the user board. We will see. But that was this week's Byte. If you want to play along, these are coming out during the week, hopefully on Mondays. I've gotten these last ones out on Tuesday or Wednesday, but I think I will try to get one out for tomorrow. And join the leaderboard. We've got quite a few good people on the leaderboard now. Oh, it's combining these anonymouses. Ooh, interesting. I don't think that is exactly what I expected to happen here, so I will take a look at that and maybe change that up. I think I don't want to combine the anonymous scores. We'll give them each separate rows. So actually, let's go make an issue for that. Let's make 2 issues here. Actually, I have one for the anonymous stuff here, but let's say don't combine anonymous results on the overall leaderboard. Let's take a screenshot. Boop. Right now on the overall leaderboard, there are 2 submissions from anonymous users, but they are being bundled together. When we would rather them either not appear on the overall leaderboard or be separate rows. I might just make anonymous not appear at all on the overall, because if I'm not going to combine them, it doesn't really make sense for them to be here at all. But no matter what, that's a bug, so good to make a issue for it. Okay, and with that, I think we're going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to take a look at some front-end WASM stuff in Rust. So we're going to use trunk as like the way to compile and serve this, just make stuff a little easier for me. And we're going to create a fresh Rust project. So let's open our editor. I was in workflow automation yesterday, but let's make a new directory. What I usually like doing is starting from GitHub and just cloning a repo and going from there. So let's do that. Let's make a new one. Let's call it Pen Pals. Under my account, no template, public. Yes, add a git ignore for Rust, not for Ruby. I do Ruby as other things, but today we're doing Rust. Let's add a README just to initialize it. Create. Okay, awesome. We can clone this down now. Do git clone. Oh, there we go. Now I can hit the Ubi key. There we go. Pen Pals. Okay. So we don't actually have any cargo directories yet. So let's do cargo new. Let's call it front end, I think. Oh, cargo new. Front end. Cool. And then let's open that in my editor. Open folder. Pen Pals. Perfect. If you watched my last stream, you may have noticed that I was taking some breaks for my eyes, so I might do that again. I might just stare out the window to the side here for a few seconds, or even close them when they're getting a little tired. I need to get a few more lights in my office. I installed some, but I think a few more would be beneficial. My eyes have just been getting a little more tired recently, and I am trying to do my best to take care of them. Okay, so let's go into our front-end directory. Enough about that for the moment. Let's add these dependencies that it thinks we're going to want. Let's just copy and paste them in. And inside it, let's just add this to our main file, and we will read over it so we at least know what we're copying and pasting in for this. Okay, so we're setting up some panic hooks to go to the console. I think basically what's happening here is if we panic, we'll at least log to the JavaScript console. We look for the window, and then we grab the document, if we can. If we couldn't, then I think we'll panic with the expect. From the document, we find the body element, and we're going to create a text node that says hello world from vanilla Rust, and we're going to create a text node and then append it to the body. And then again, if we fail, we will just panic. Awesome, and then we want to create an index.html file, so let's do that at the root. So I think that means not in source. I think it means not in source, yes. So index.html, plop that in. And then I should be able to do trunk serve, and then open will open it in the browser for me. Got to compile my new project to WASM. Sorry, loud straw in my glass there. There we go. Awesome. Hello world from vanilla Rust. And then just to show that this is actually happening in JavaScript and not just in the HTML, if we just commented this out, there we go. Now it just doesn't appear at all. And actually that has a pretty fast live reload there. That's actually really nifty. Okay, so we are good to go. I'm going to open up Excalidraw, because I want to sketch out just a little bit of what I'm thinking and explain this project to you guys. So let's open up a new collection called Pen Pals. Let's create a new scene and let's get going. Okay, so so here, let me actually explain. Let me grab some, let's get some text. So actually I don't want this box anymore. So let's do an example. So here is kind of what this formatting looks like when I've been doing these pen pal style. I just call them pen pal because it's a fun word for it. These just longer emails where we're not, not IRC, takes a few days for us to get back to each other kind of stuff. We'll have some paragraphs of text. Each block is usually about a certain topic, and it will have a couple sentences, or maybe more. but then we'll separate with, separate with a, that's still not even how you spell it. There we go. With a blank line to create different, like, paragraphs or blocks. And then example response is what we would, what we've usually been doing, is we'll take what the other person wrote, throw it in some little markdown quotey things, and then I'll say, like, this is my response to that first paragraph, and then this is my response to the second paragraph. So that's like kind of what it will look like. And that's like the style we've been doing, and we're going to create a tool to like just help with this formatting just a touch. It's like really not going to be super duper fancy, but it's going to be fun to play around with the front end WASM and stuff like that. So the idea here is this is going to be a completely client-side app. No server-side bits yet. This is not going to actually send the message to the pen pals. Like, you send the message however you want, over email or, you know, whatever. That's we'll leave that outside of the tool, at least for now. Okay, so kind of what I'm thinking is you'll paste in one of these, either one, you know what I mean, depending on where you are in the conversation, you'll paste in something like that. So let's actually show what we want to do. Let's make this go a little farther away from that. Okay, so we're going to have a text box. So let's actually make the frame like blue or something. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So then we have a text box. I just posted some automated posts to my social media. Go check them out. They are about API shape and not using arrays as the top level return type for your JSON API. I want to write a fuller blog post about it, but for the moment, I got some social media posts published. I schedule them so that I can write them at like midnight and then they go out like during the middle of the day. Just works for my schedule a little bit better. Okay, so we're gonna have a text box, and basically I think we'll like then just start off with a button down here. It's a button. It'll have some text in it. Maybe the text says format. And then either it'll just replace it, or no, maybe the best thing to do is to, oops, didn't want to resize it. I just wanted to move you over here. So when you click the format button, we'll link you to this new screen. Whoop. I don't know. That's fine, whatever. And then here maybe we side by side it or something. Yeah, because I want to keep the original. I think that's a good way to do it. So then this will be like the original in red, and then this is the response over here. So then if we like put our example text in, because that might be helpful. Like this could be the text for here. Cool. Can I like make that wrap a little nicer maybe? Yeah, like that. Perfect. Oops. Perfect. And then we click the button, and then this can go over here. We will let it do its text wrapping again. Perfect. Create another text box, but we're not going to have that content in it. It's going to be this example response. I guess what this one's going to do is, we'll see in a second, is really what it's going to do is it's not going to have these, and it's just going to have the quotes. And I guess one thing that would be good to show is like if this one had a quote above it, like what was said at first. You know, maybe we're midway through a conversation, right? We're gonna strip that out, right? We don't need to keep nesting them. Like it's fine. If you want to look back at the history, you can look back at the history through the email thread or the Discord chain or whatever. So we're gonna strip out any quotes that are there, take the blocks and put them as quotes in the response. And yeah, I think that's about it. We're gonna start off with a format button because it's nice and easy, something to hook into. But eventually we might try to change that up and have it like live format. Why is this looking so bad? This looks very blocky to me. Oh, maybe it was just my scroll was a little wonky. I don't know. It looks a little better now. But my eyes are being really more annoying this morning than some, so I'm going to take a little bit of an eye break. I'm going to actually close them, so I'm going to turn off the camera here and give myself 30 seconds of break before we get started on this app. I've been trying to do the 20-20-20 rule. I don't think I was as good about it this week as I have been in the past, but we're about, oh yeah, we're 22 minutes into the stream, so a nice time to take just a 30-second, or maybe a little more. Sometimes I take a good minute or so break. Sometimes I look off into the distance and let my eyes relax that way, or sometimes I just close them and blink a little bit to get them nice and hydrated and get those muscles to relax a little bit more. For some reason, during the workdays, this hasn't felt as bad, but when I've been doing these streams on the weekends these last couple weeks, it's been getting a little more tired on me. So we're doing our best to keep them as healthy as we can. I do think I'm going to try to head to the store this afternoon and get some new lights, because I think I got a few, but I think I might need a little more lights in my office. So give me 10 more seconds, team, and then we will get back to getting started here. Okay, let's do it. Let's come back and get started. Okay, so let's see. We're going to go back over to our editor. And I guess let's, oh, actually, there's one more thing before we like getting too far down. We're going to set some stuff up here. I had seen this, probably not in the guide, but I had seen it in their like docs page. Let's just keep going back. There we go. We're going to go to assets, and we want to talk about Tailwind because I like Tailwind. Well, Tailwind CSS, Trunk uses this to just link to your Tailwind CSS file from your source, and Trunk will handle the rest. Awesome. So let's make ourselves a new file called styles.css. And then from here, we can go, yes, except I don't want just rel style sheet. I want rel Tailwind CSS. And then let's open up the Tailwind docs into the get started page, because I think there's some stuff like, yeah, we want to make a Tailwind config.js file, telling it where the contents of everything is. So it could be anywhere. It doesn't even need to be in source. Any oh, I need all of this. Yeah, like that. Yeah, sure. We'll do exactly that. And then this is what I want to put in my styles folder. Perfect. And then I think what that should let me do is, oh yeah, let's do that. Let's add some Tailwind, and we'll just put hello world in the HTML. Perfect. Except, oh yeah, it is bigger, it is bolder, so I think that worked. Let's also do text red 500. Perfect. See, so I'm not sure if it is working all the way. Let's actually stop this, start it again in case that matters. It does not seem to. Oh, because it's the H1 that is being styled there. That does make sense. Yep, that does open correctly. I'm wondering if, I don't actually know what's up. It uses the official CLI. Is it going to download it for me? Am I supposed to download it myself? Do I have it? Which Tailwind CSS? Yeah, I do. Tailwind CSS version. You don't have that? That's a little silly, but that's okay. Cool. Oh, I could have done Tailwind init to do this for me, but it seems like that's working. So why is Trunk not seeming to do that for me? Oh, and I guess I lost my Trunk page. Assets. Link asset types. Oh, okay. Must have a data trunk attribute. That might be one of the things I was missing. So I think I actually wanted to say link data trunk. I don't even know if I want it to be a stuff. Oh, that's literally what this is. Haha. Data trunk, though. I think that is probably the secret sauce that I was missing. Or at least part of it. Oh, and then definitely have to serve trunk. There we go. That's nice and tailwinded now. We are getting somewhere. Okay. Perfect. We are good to go. Okay. So let's change this to say pen pals. And then let's add like a text area. Yeah, I guess we do want an ID. This will be like original message. Sure, original message. That works for me. There we go. It just needed a reload. Oh, it doesn't live reload. That makes sense. Is that an option? Auto reload. What version of trunk am I running? 20.3. So I should do that. Now ships with the ability. It doesn't tell me how. It just says so. Huh. Okay. Well, is that an option that I need to provide? I can turn off auto reload, but I want auto reload on. Enable cooldown, poll, watch. Yeah, seems like it should just probably be working. Okay, whatever. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we have our text area. Let's give it our button. Button ID. No, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be format. And we'll do format. Oops. Okay, so now what do we want to do with our format? Hey, Lillian Ruby Rose, how is it going? Hope you're having a good Sunday. We're doing some front-end WASM experimenting type stuff. We're working on an app to basically just format some text, if we're being honest. The idea is that I've been writing these longer emails with some friends that we're calling this project Pen Pals. And, you start with some paragraphs, and then the response is, for each paragraph, you have a little response. And we're going to make a tool that just, does the formatting for us a little bit easier. Nothing super complicated, but should be a fun thing to get started with some WASM. So right now we're just writing some index.html stuff to get started here. We're using trunk for all of this at the moment. I think eventually we might switch that out and have an actual server that serves some of this, but for now, gotta start somewhere. Okay, so we have getting our document, getting the body. So let's we do want to get the body node, but we don't want to make this text node anymore. So let's get the button, format button. Yep. Awesome. Okay, so then, yeah, format. Add event listener with callback. Closure.new. Do I need you? Probably. Found closure. Ooh, okay. It expected a JS sys function, found struct, WASM-Bind prelude closure. Okay, so now we're hitting our first, some fun WASM-y stuff. Okay, so let's see what else we have on format button first, because that was just kind of what Copilot just gave us. Add event listener with callback. What is this? With callback. Give me more information. No? Not feeling it? With callback and Boolean. Not sure why I'd want that necessarily, but mismatch type. Okay, what if I just do fix with AI? I kind of doubt it, but let's figure it out. Closure wrap box new. Okay, does that work? Into JS value. Oh my gosh, this is a mess. Unchecked into. I also don't want unchecked into. That sounds awful. Yeah, okay. The function, yeah, that doesn't work. That wasn't better. So, but also, what if I just don't even wrap it in this closure? What if I just give it a Rust closure? That feels like the easiest way to do this. Okay, so that doesn't work because it found a closure. Okay, let's Google this. Rust WASM. Yep. So I have done some Rust WASM before, but it has been a little while. So we're gonna try it out. Closure as ref, unchecked ref. Oh man, so we might need to do that. It actually looks like that's almost the closure with a dyn function mute. This is pretty similar to what we had when we told the AI to fix it, if we're being honest. But we do the closure new, and then as ref, unchecked ref. What does unchecked ref do, I wonder? Dot as ref dot unchecked ref. Okay, so we need some type annotations, which, sure. Copy them from that docs there. It doesn't know what my underscore thing is. It's going to be an event from, but it's not going to be that kind of an event. It's going to be a different kind of event. WebSys click event. Oh, those are all mouse events. Wonder what other WebSys click event. Yeah, how to add this. This is really bad formatting. I don't like it. Where doesn't tell me at all. Underscore event. Yeah, I'm just not using the event. Oh, there is an event listener thing. Interesting. Yeah, that's a pretty bad... No, but I don't want mouse event. That's the whole thing. I want, like, a click event. What other events do we got? Blob event, click. Do we have just, like, a click event? Nope. Okay, well, what if I just leave it off? What if I say that I don't need the... Oh, no, but I do want the event. Maybe I don't for now. Let's just say I don't. Nope, it still needs to know what this is. Okay. WebSys. Yeah, let's look at closures here. Click. Set up clicker. Set on click to our closure. It doesn't have, it just says it doesn't need anything. Closure is expected to take one argument. Yeah. Oh, because I told it took an argument there. Gotcha. Okay. And then this is what I was closure may outlive the current function, but it borrows document. Okay, so I think then I want to do let a format callback, a format on click, actually. We'll make our closure. So then this is a closure of something like that. That can get a type on it. This then can be format on click. Okay, sure. As ref unchecked, all on one line. Let an original message text, get it out, and then can I just do like a, how do I console.log? Console. Using console.log. Yes. Let's set up, look at a, well, without the help of WebSys. Oh no, I want with the help of WebSys. Note that the print line doesn't actually work on the WASM target. Yeah. Okay. Here we're writing annotations manually ourselves, but I would rather not do it that way. Is there not a better way to do it? Rust. WebSys console log. Yeah, I know, but like I want to not do that. Okay, so I should just be able to do like console log 1. It's log 1. So now I might need to go to my cargo.toml and add the console feature. I feel like I might need to do that. Log 1. I'm assuming this is just the number of arguments it has. Yeah. console. Now it should know about this. Qualify it as that. Didn't qualify. Come on. There we go. Okay. Oh, this doesn't have a value. There's a method value of. No, I don't want that. Not text. Text content. There we go. Okay. Reference found reference to a string. Oh wait, so I can't even use log1 on a string? It's a JS value. Okay. What does this do with its macro? Format args toString, where log is just that. Oh, I think these need intos so that they can be converted to a JS thing. Okay, perfect. Closure may outlive the current document, but it borrows. Oh, yeah, I think the thing that I need to do here is make this a move one, so that we can get the document that we passed in from the outside. And then this should have a expect could not attach event listener. Oh yeah, we're gonna make it forget the closure so that it doesn't actually get cleaned up. I forgot about that. I have done that in these things before. Okay, so now I think what we should be able to do though now is open up our thing, go to our console here, type some text, hit format, and get nothing logged out. That's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, that kind of makes sense to me because I don't think I want text content. Yeah, so this original message is just an element. Can I like let original message equals, how do I make this a different type? Yeah, like that. HTML text area element. I probably need to add that to here. It's like every little thing is a feature that we need to add, which is definitely a bit annoying. Import it. And then now I hope I can do something like a dot value call. Yes, there we go. Oh, there's no expect. You can just always get it. Love that. Okay. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Let's work on a little formatting. This is really bad looking. Okay, so we don't even need body, I guess. Get rid of it. Let's go to our index. Let's do... So it's interesting that that's like that. So I guess I want to do a class of like this, like block. I think if I make it block, that'll make the button fall below it, like that. And then let's do like a max width of prose, because we're going to be writing into it. And actually, can we also just do width of prose? No. Well, then width full. Make it full width except up to our max width of prose. But let's add a little border around it. Border, sure. Yeah, that looks nice-ish. That'll work for me. And then, so we have our first one, but let's make a div that wraps both of these. Flex column gap 2. That seems reasonable. I think I want column. Do I want column? I'm not sure. Formatted message. Perfect. So we have two of them. They can be max width prose. Yeah, what if I get rid of flex column? I think I wanted rows. Just like that. Perfect. And then if I make my screen small enough, will they eventually... They will resize. What if I do... Flex shrink 0. Flex shrink 0. No, now they just don't shrink. That's worse. We'll leave that off for now. They're at least next to each other. We'll deal with responsiveness in a minute. Oh, I guess what I can do is probably add like a min width of... Oh, I can add min width of prose as well. Sure. Wait, I'm not sure if min width prose is actually a thing or if the AI just hallucinated that one. Yeah, min width prose doesn't exist. Min width Oh, let's make like 10. I don't know. Maybe that's too big. Oh yeah. Okay, but then what if I do now flex shrink 0? Does that? Yeah, okay. Oh, the other thing that I wanted here is flex wrap. Ah. Min width. I don't know. Let's say 5. I have no idea if that's the right number there or not. And then this is really. Oh, I already have that. No, no, no. I want the flex shrink 0. I want don't shrink. Yeah, don't shrink. I do want it here too. Yay! Then it makes it big enough, and they go side by side. Perfect. Nice. Okay, that works for me. Let's make that button look more buttony because it does not look buttony. Class, background view, hover, format. Why? Sure. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Love that. Let's give this some margin bottom of like 4. Yep, that'll work. I want these more rounded. Rounded like full. Let's make this like a full pill. I don't want a full. Let's do large. I thought that was one of them. Rounded dash. Oh, yeah, abbreviated large, of course. Extra large? I don't know what I'm feeling. I just wanted it more rounded than that, I think. Let's do that. That'll work. But let's actually do a class of max width of like a lot. Yeah, 60. Oh, no, that's not. MX, max width. Yeah, that is what I want. Max, no, it's not. Max width of 60. Is that still gonna work? Yeah, but 60 is tiny. Max width of... Oh, there we go. Some like max width of a large screen. Okay, let's have it be larger than that. XL. XL still not big enough for 2 of them. 2XL. There we go. And then yeah, let's do auto centering it. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work for me. You get smaller, you get rid of that. So now it's not centered though. Because why? Oh, because those take up as much as they want there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, but then I could center just those within their box if I wanted to as well. Yeah, because then I could do justify center. Is it justify center, or do I want align center? Nope, that's what I wanted. Perfect. Except now the format button's not in there. Meh, let's not do that. Let's also just get rid of the justify center then. It'll be left aligned on small screens. But I do want some margin bottom, like 8. Give it some spacing below that. Okay, perfect. But now let's go back to the big one. I don't need it to be like that. And let's give these some height. Min height of, oh, I don't know, 24. Oh, way bigger than that. 60? Oh, and actually, it's like min height. Like, I want it, like, what about, like, screen? Like, pretty much the whole screen, but I don't want all the screen. Like, I want, like, half. I think that is one of them. Half does that? No, it's getting it from this one having 60. Min height of... What is 1.5? Min height, oh yeah, just tiny. I thought it would be bigger because it was at the end there. Full screen. I don't know what all of these mean, to be honest. 96. We'll just go with the biggest number they have for the moment. Yeah, okay, awesome. So now what I want to do is let's just be able to type something in here and format and throw it over there. We'll just copy it in. Nothing super exciting. Back to our Rust. Eventually, I'm going to move this to Rust as well so that I can like make components out of these. This being repeated twice is annoying me, but we will get there. The idea here, just to say this out loud, I don't think I have yet, is I'm really trying to start building out my own homegrown WASM front-end framework. And this is really just an experiment to get started. This is probably not really at all what the framework will want to look like, because I'm going to want to integrate it with my backend stuff. And I'm going to try to do like more sprinkles of JavaScript rather than like full JavaScript like I'm writing here, but we got to start somewhere. And so this is where we're starting. Okay, so original message. This is like original message L. This is original message. It's also the element. I just am changing the type of it. I like that. So then let's do let formatted message element. Yep. And actually, yeah, I don't actually think I need it to, yeah, let's just say this is just going to be an HTML text area element, and then this can do a dine into dot expect could not access it, could not convert form. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so we get the text out of this, and actually let's just do this. I like this format better. Yep. Get rid of you. Original text. So then we do formatted message.set value is that. We don't need to log it out anymore. Okay. Typey. Format. Love it. The other thing that I just realized is I want to be able to do like submit this thing and have it do that over there. We'll add that later. Let's add a little to-dos doc for us. To-dos.md, not where I wanted it to be. Move it out there. To-dos, allow keyboard events to trigger the formatting. Yeah, to format the message, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so right now we're just copying it, and now we're going to actually do some formatting. And to be honest, like, there's really not much more in the JavaScripty side that we're going to need, it doesn't seem like. So then we'll just probably work on cleaning up the code, and we'll see. So yeah. Okay. So now let's make a new mod for like the text formatter. Yeah, that'll work for me. Text formatter. So then I want a public function like split into paragraphs, which is exactly that. Taking some text, split it on an empty line, and then make it into paragraphs, which is perfect. So that's gonna be so that I can take something like this and split it into these paragraphs. And then I guess the first bit here is just, so actually, let's not make this public. The only function that we're going to expose publicly here is format. It's going to take in some text and return a string. Yeah, exactly. So paragraphs, and then formatted paragraphs, we go through all the paragraphs, we split on the lines, and we just format them again. That's not what I want. Paragraphs iter map, yeah, so formatted paragraphs. I think all I want to do is for each paragraph, so I think I just want to format bang and put that before the paragraph, and then join it. This wants to be a vec of strings, which means it needs to collect it. We're taking our iterator and collecting it. And there we go. It's never used. Yes, it is. Oh, this is never used. Yeah, got it. Okay, so here we want let formatted is textformer.format, and then this gets set to our formatted text. Nice and easy. Love this. We're rocking and rolling now. So now I should be able to plop in something like this, click format. Love it. Okay. This is actually going very, very well. So another thing that I want to do though is function strip quote paragraphs. And what does that want to operate on? I think that wants to operate on some paragraphy things. This isn't right. Let's to do it for the moment. And actually, so I think that's also, we're going to make some structs here. So we're going to make a struct for a paragraph of text, which is really just going to hold a string. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. And then we're going to have a struct called paragraphs, which holds the vec of paragraphs. So strip quote paragraphs is going to take in a paragraphs. I'm missing a, let's typoing that. There we go. So this is going to take some paragraphs and return a paragraph. We'll make a new one. Love it. No, full paragraphs. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, yeah, it's fine. It's fine to call it text. Text.0.iter.filter. So now we're just going to filter out ones that I don't want to see here. Yeah. So we don't want ones that start with the quote thing and clone collect. The thing that this needs is we need to be able to derive clone on both of these. The reason to make these structs is just so that I can have types that don't just return vecs of strings and strings. I want to have a slightly more types here, and we'll see how that grows. So we have our paragraphs, and then we want to do... Oh, split into paragraph doesn't return this yet. Okay, fair enough. Paragraphs. Just wrap it into paragraphs. And then function quote paragraphs takes in a paragraph, returns some paragraphs. Yeah, you can probably just write it for me. Paragraphs iter. Yep, okay, so paragraphs.0 iter. Yep. Paragraph.0. And then we also are then going to map it to a paragraph, which I think I can just do like this. Perfect. So then formatted paragraph. So then let cleaned paragraphs equals strip that. Let quoted paragraphs, and then let's do a impl on our paragraphs. That's gonna be function toString. Actually, impl toString, isn't there? Yeah, impl toString for paragraphs, which just we map over them to get their strings. Actually, no, I don't want that at all. I just want to do, I have the vec of these. Let strings equals this. Yep. Dot collect. Because this is going to be a vec. I do want it to be a vec of string, so I kind of know what it is already. And then we join them. Perfect. And then here we can do quoted paragraphs.toString. Oh, it wants me to implement display instead. Prefer implementing display instead. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, whoa, not what I wanted. Display for paragraphs, and then we implement missing members. Where this is that. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no, no. Remove my toString. Boop. Boop. Perfect. So now back in main, I really actually shouldn't need to change anything because this just calls format on the thing. Now I should be able to paste in an example. It'll format like that. But if there are some quotes above it, it will strip it out. And that's actually something that I was a little worried about. Paragraphs, like I don't want to have a space between them because I want to be lenient to this formatting where it does or doesn't have a space after it. And the thing is, if it's a quote, every line will be quotey like this. Because that's markdown. So if there is actually explicit new lines, and not just wrapping, because if there's wrapping, like, right, if we just make this wrap, like, that's all going to be understood as one line, so it's fine. But if I make it explicit enter, I don't think I want that to be the same paragraph. So maybe I don't actually want the stripping to be on the paragraph level. I might just want that on the line level. So I might even not do the splitting into paragraphs until I've stripped out the quotes. So it might just be strip quotes, takes in a string and returns a string. No, it's just that we're going to do something a little bit fancier in this. So let's actually, we'll make an impl for paragraph. Oh, I could also just impl display for that. That's actually not a bad idea, but we will get there. Okay, so strip quotes. Oh no, not for paragraphs though. Paragraph, singular. It has a function called strip quotes that returns another paragraph. So this just replaces, that's not what I want either. Okay, so let lines equal split on lines. Let stripped lines is nope lines dot iter dot filter. Line starts with that, collect it. Oh, it already is an iterator. And paragraph of stripped lines dot join on end. It's just a vec. Just make it a vec. I don't even care. It's a vec of something. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so then it's gonna be paragraphs. Strip quote paragraphs. No. What I want to do is impl for paragraphs, strip quotes. Just goes through them and strips the quotes for each of them. Like that. So now we can do this. We can have a quote above it. This is a quote. Usually, yeah, and then this is not an explicit new line, right? That's a, ooh, wait. Oh, it is an explicit new line, and that's actually fine, except for the fact that I don't just want this. Quote paragraphs needs to do it for each line. So again, we're just gonna get rid of my functions and go more into this. So paragraph has a function called quote that returns a new paragraph where we do let lines, again, equal self.split lines, quoted lines. Yes, exactly. So for each line, we're going to add the quote thing before it because they each need to be there. And then this can, for paragraphs, we can do a quote that just goes over them and calls quote on them. So this is just paragraphs.quote. Get rid of this. Cleaned paragraph. Oh, yeah. Thank you, compiler, for having my back there. And let's actually, we'll copy some quotes. Here is a quote. Nice. Nice. That's exactly what I wanted. Because there's explicit enters here. And if there weren't explicit enters, there wouldn't be explicit enters. But if there are, we do want them to be contained just like that. Awesome. So let's copy this just so I have it on my clipboard. There are explicit enters in this paragraph, but none in the one above it. Perfect. But I also don't want the quote stripping to need that space. So strip quotes line starts with a quote. But then so we want the ones that don't start with that, but I want to include ones that start with double. So like if it had double though for some reason, like that's different. Oh well, wrong direction. Like that maybe means something different than just. Oh. Wait. So we filter for. We're stripping the quotes. So the stripped lines are ones that don't start with this, or they start with this. Yeah, if you like, you're allowed. The first one can't be, but if two of them are, that's acceptable. Nice. And then this, I want to type this again. Paragraph has explicit line breaks. The one above does not. Boom. Nice. Okay. Man, we actually whipped through this a little bit faster than I expected. This was a touch easier than I was thinking it would be. So do we want to deploy this somewhere now, maybe? It's just a static thing, so deploying it somewhere is like pretty trivial. Not really sure, to be honest. And then we can also, oh, let's copy this to my clipboard. Whoa, oh, I did a, oh, let's get the keyboard navigation. Yeah, there's some more stuff. We have some to-dos. Cool, yeah, that doesn't matter. It's fine with that. Basically the only thing that we would keep is if they have two, because then, I don't know, maybe that just means something different. But anything else gets stripped. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Cool, and what if I did that? Yeah, okay, so now, though, I want to strip out empty paragraphs. Is empty. Oh, but it's not just if paragraph. Oh, well, actually, that's just a string. Dot trim is empty, yeah. So if it's just white space, then it's empty. So then we want a, like, function... remove empty. Get rid of the empty ones. Into iter. Because I don't want to have to clone them. Oh, because that's a reference. Okay, yeah, we'll clone them then. That's fine. Cloned. Eagerly. Oh, yeah. Clone it after the filter. Because remove the empty. Oh wait, can I just literally do this all in one go? Oh, I definitely can. Dot quote. Don't need that. Oh, basically, actually, though, this is all just going to be one line, pretty much. We strip quotes, remove empty, quote them, then two-string it. Boop. Boop. Love it. What did I just add? Oh, stripping empty. Yeah, so if there was this here, right? Same result. We now there would be an empty one, we strip it away. We don't care about that. Ooh, that one's interesting. What's happening here? There's a bunch of lines. Oh, wait. What? Oh. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So when we split it into paragraphs, we're just matching on this, but I think I want to match on something a little different. Like, I'd rather... interesting. Because, like, now it's... Like, if it's an even or an odd number, we get different results, depending on whether we split it like that nicely. That's interesting. Why is the is empty not work? Oh, because no, this is included in this paragraph. This paragraph is like that. Oh, okay. Trim. I'm not doing it in that order, you silly computer. We trim it, then we toString it. Because now that's the same, that's the same, that's the same, that's the same. Perfect. Okay. Love it. Okay, so let's work on making the command enter work. Actually, should we make a commit? Get a very basic version of this working. Nice and easy. I like that. Especially because I meant to start streaming about an hour earlier than I did today, but my computer, I had just upgraded it to the latest beta, and I couldn't even get the network to work. The network just was completely broken and had to debug that. It ended up being that little snitch was messing things up. The version I had didn't work with the OS I'm on, and I just had to uninstall it to get it working. I'll look into adding it back eventually, but for now, no little snitch. But I have internet, so hey, we'll take it. But the moral of why I even went down that tangent is I like when things go a little easier on days when things don't go easier right away. So this split into paragraphs is really just the new of this, like paragraphs has a function new that takes some text and makes some paragraphs. Oh, missing a curly. Make some paragraphs from the text. Let's just inline this now, because I don't even feel like I need it. Inline variable. Formatting, all it does is take some paragraphs, strip the quotes, remove empty paragraphs, quote it again, and toString it. Love it. Wonder why that cleared and that didn't. That's interesting. Oh, it's because it's not even serving. That'll do it. Uh-oh. Oh, haha, CD to front end. Perfect. Open it in streaming. I can probably close this other one that's already open. Doesn't matter too much. Still can't keyboard, but that's okay, and that works perfectly. What happens if I have like a code block in here? Rust. This is some code. Yeah, that's fine. I don't actually know how that's gonna like display in a markdown editor or anything like that, but like that's fine enough to me. Markdown preview. Yeah. Oh yeah, works. That's exactly what I would want it to do. Perfect. Oops. Yeah, that was great. Oh, that's something else we'll add in here eventually. I like that. First of all, no, not sharing. Separate all tabs. Yeah, so we should have like a render mode somewhere. We should have a way to like render this to text or something. Yeah, let's do that too. So there's a format button that, well, actually, is it really just that they're like, okay. I designed it with 2 text boxes, but is maybe a better thing that you can paste it in, click format or something, and then you could have it, should it replace it or make it next to it? We're going to keep it next to it right now so you don't lose things. It makes it easier for me to dev. But I'm wondering if the better UX would be to not do that. Okay, but let's work on this thing first so that, like, you know, I can command enter and have it work. So I think one way to do that is to wrap this in a form. And then when we load up our program, let form, actually, no. Well, I don't have an ID for it. Oh, it is that. That's kind of what I wanted, though. Let form, Okay, fine. Well, that's just the easy way to do it for sure. Format. Actually, I want to rename this to be just format original message. And then form dot add event listener with callback. Yeah. And then if you can't do that, yeah. So, oh, because I broke the formatting then, because almost all of these things, or some of these at least, these ones need to be on the form now. Flex, shrink 0, yep. Width full, that one I think I want to keep. Is that what I want? No? Does this need a block too? No. Oh, well. Wait, and why is form here? Oh. So I just wasn't doing things right. Flex wrap, yep. Oh, because I don't have the max width pros on it. Max width pros. There we go. Now they look about the same. But now, importantly, I should... Oh, it's not working? What? Ooh, okay. Text area keyboard submit. If that's not working, then I'm wondering if... I don't want it to be the enter key, though. Yeah, that. Command enter. On command enter. I don't want to bind directly to keyboard shortcuts if I can. Okay, so MDM text area. Autocomplete, auto capitalize, auto correct, auto focus, disabled, form. Must be ascendant of a form element. Yep. Oh, so that's interesting. Oh yeah, let's do that. That'll be better because I don't like this how I did the CSS here. So let's undo all of this. And let's just put this form here. Oops. Let's just make a form called ID form that's empty with a class of hidden. And then this can have a form equals form. This does not need to be part of the form at all. So now though, they should still be linked to each other so that if I can make the submit here still work, I think it'll work. Controlling when it's resizable, that's not what I want. Min length, max length, placeholder. Text area submit form on control enter. We'll not type in the Mac OS version of it. Here's a blog post. Oh, this is an Elixir forum. It's not really what I want either. I don't want to listen to event codes. Like I can, that's just not what I'm trying to do. Everyone's just use key codes. There we go. Using control enter submit a form with live view. That's kind of what I want. No. It checks if a specific key or key combination is pressed. Yeah, but that's not really what I want. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I do need a key down listener. Okay, let's make a key down listener. Let key down listener. Yep. If it is enter. Okay, so if the key is enter and the shift key and event dot, so they're like a, oh, it doesn't have that at all yet. Keyboard event. Is shift key a valid thing now? Ah, got it. Import the keyboard event. Now, do you know what shift key is? Yeah, cool. But like, what if I do a different? I don't want shift key. What if I want control key? Ooh, event dot. What else do I have? Control key. Then I want to do a event dot form. Like, I really want to do element. Oh yeah, so but I want like event dot target. Unwrap into a text area. Let L equals that. Element dot form dot submit. That. Okay, so element doesn't have form, but it does actually. Interesting. I wonder why it doesn't have a form, because it does in like the DOM, right? Okay, so that got me a lot farther. But like it does have, so then I guess I want like web sys text area. Yeah. Do you have anything about form here? HTML form element. Yeah. HTML text area element form. I need the HTML form element, of course. Now I get the magic method of form. Cool. Yes, I do need those. Let's forget it again. And form. Yep, I do want that. Oh, I need to add this to the, which I don't even have yet. Cool. Original message element. We can copy this as well. Add event listener with callback key down. Perfect. Document. Oh, because it got moved. Yes. Do I want that? No, I don't want that to happen. I don't want anything to be moved into this closure because it just makes it harder. And then let's again not move anything into this closure. Let's make it. Oh. Expect could not submit form. Perfect. Okay, that's good. Original. Yeah, okay, so then let's make a function for that though. Function get original message from a document? No. No. From nowhere. Just get it. Perfect. Equals get original message. Oh yeah, let's make this element. Boop. I really don't even, like, I can inline this, right? Inline it, just get the original message element, add the event listener. Love that. That works for me. Because it borrows document. No, it doesn't. Oh, it does, right here. Oh, but let's make another one of these. Function get formatted message element. Yeah, you can copy this then too again, apparently. Yep, love it. Yeah, it's that. Oh, come on. There we go. Nice. Okay. It thinks it's ready to go. Is it? Nope. Well, actually, that's an interesting point. Oh, no, it was working. It just didn't do anything. Okay, so that doesn't work still. That's an interesting question. Is it that submitting the form just isn't working? A document. Oh, document. Oh yeah, let's clear this out. Dot queer. Dot get element by. Nope. Get element by. No. Oh my gosh. This is not going good. Okay. Submit. Fair. I think I need to tell it when it submits to not do that. Yeah. Okay, so then I want a let on submit. Except this isn't that. This is gonna be like a submit event. Is submit event a thing? That. Yeah, that's not the right way to write that. Is submit event a thing? Doesn't see. Oh wait, it might just need an import. Haha, love that. I found that. Yeah, okay, so then how do I call it? What if I make this format original message? Yeah, what if I make this a function and not what I had been doing? Can I just call into on this? No. Okay, so I think I still need a closure, which is fine. Closure, yep. All this does, though, is call format original message. On submit, we'll make this underscorey. So I need to figure out ways to compose these different pieces together. Yeah, that needs to be the closure. The submit here is on submit. That's the closure. I also need on submit forget. What is forget? Does it return a thing? But into JS value, but doesn't return a value. Got it. Wait, so the actually wait. Does that mean that here? Oh no, because this is an as ref. Well, what if I don't? What if I just do dot into JS value? No. Okay. Expects a reference to a function. Performs a zero cost unchecked cast into a reference to the specified type. Well, what if I don't want it unchecked? What if I want a checked ref? So web sys unchecked ref. I want to find a checked ref. Let's try this. Cloud. In Rust with WebSys, I am using... Oh, no, man. As ref dot unchecked ref. Is there a version that does check the types? Is indeed an instance operation. You're looking for, then you can use dinref. Do I want as ref dinref or just dinref? Just dinref. Let's find out. Dinref. Dot expect. Could add the event listener. Whoa. Did you just like friggin' change that whole thing on me? Yeah, I don't. As ref dinref. Perfect. Could not turn closure to a function reference. Reference. Yeah. Dinref. I don't want any unchecked. Unchecked is not good. Let's remove it. Dine into dot expect. Could not convert event target to an HTML text target area. Love it. Where's one more? Click. Dinref. Expect. Could not turn closure into a function reference. Love it. Okay. And I do still think I need this forget here. I didn't get rid of that. Okay. Let's refresh this. Let's paste a quote in. That's still not working. But is like, can I submit the form? No. So that's still like is doing a whole page refreshy thing. I thought I had on submit. This whole thing is just that it does prevent default. Oh, submit event. One of these events must just imply that. This is not a function mute. This just can be a function. Can I just leave it out? Does it need it? Yeah, it does need type annotations. Okay. Lots of unwraps and expects here, but like that's fine. It's the name of the game when we're doing interop between these languages. So that's not submitted. Okay, well let's actually do a few things. Let's add some logs to some places. So in our on submit, console log. Wait, where's console log coming from? Yeah. Is that a macro that I can pull from somewhere? Cool. That's mad at me. Is that a thing? Features console. Love that. Oh, I have console already. No, but it doesn't think it exists. I already have the console feature of WebSys. WebSys console log? No. Macro. Macros. How do structs? Functions. Okay. So, JS is what's the difference between this? Oh, JavaScript standard. This is where the web stuff is. So I think web stuff would be here. It's why console's in here. Yeah, okay. Don't know if console log bang macro is in WebSys. It's not part of it. Instead, WebSys provides functions. Yeah, You can define my own. I can define my own. Which, sure. Yeah, I do. Let's just do that. And that's fine. WebSys. Cool. Okay, so console log submit. Yep, that's fine. And then in my key down, yeah, the key down as well. Nope, not that. Console log key down. Perfect. Okay. Hop back to here. Okay, so that might be part of it. Does control enter always submit and command enter never does? Or am I actually calling this submit? How do I tell it not to remove them? Navigated. Yeah, so it's doing a navigation. So is this form not doing this? MDM form. Let's look up the MDM form element. Like, because what if I like just don't want it to do anything, basically? Form action attribute on one of these. The URL that processes the form submission. Use this when the form has no side effects. HTML form prevent action. Maybe I can have it return default. Returning false here won't be informed was submitted anyways. You should call prevent default to prevent the default action. Yeah. Oh, I could use an inline on submit. Yeah, I'm calling, that's what I'm doing. That's what I want to do. I want to call prevent default on the thing. This could have a name of something just for the hell of it. Because now I think this will do that. Like, that at least does something there. Well, maybe that's fine. Maybe that's better. Yeah, what if this format button... Oh, yeah, why am I doing that? Let's do that. What if this button form is just form? What if this just submits the form? Oh, can't find button. Yeah, of course I can't find the button. That's pretty fair. No more format button. We don't need JavaScript for this. Yeah. Wait. Clear. Oh. Okay. Control enter. Enter submits form but doesn't call on submit callback for the form. Okay, control enter doesn't usually submit it. I do. Bypassing JavaScript or maybe submitting the form directly without triggering the onSubmit event. Call the form submit. Yeah. Well, ensure your control enter handler calls the form submit. That's what I'm doing. Okay, let's actually do this. If I don't do the key down listener for a sec. Clear this. Okay. Okay, yeah, so let's not submit it. Okay, so it's definitely this. Yeah, it definitely calls the submit method on the form, and the submit method should have that callback added to it. That one's interesting. But if I just submit the form with the submit button, it definitely works. Interesting. Event dot, like, is there like a get modifier state? Event dot, what other keys are there? Alt key, control. Oh, so it's probably like alt maybe is my command or something, or the meta key. Yeah, which one is it? Okay. A console log. Sure, we'll do key. Yeah, control key, shift key, alt key, meta key. Perfect. Oh. If event.key is enter, then we do all of this. So that was control. Everything else was false. What is this one? Oh, whoa. Oh. The only one that even fires the key. Okay. Well, now I'm kind of curious what the hell that fires. Wait, what? So it's the meta key, but it's not. Oh, freaking silliness. I didn't mean to have that there. Yeah, so this is the meta. This is alt. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. We're good. That's doing what I want it to now. So let is control or command. Is controller command. Okay, so now this will do this for both of these. And the on submit just calls format original message. Okay, so that still now does the actual submit, but if I click this button, which is just part of the form, like this doesn't have anything attached to it, right? How do I know if it has, can I look at event listeners? Yeah, there's no event listener there. There's an event listener on submit here. And there's an event listener on key down here. Yep. Okay, so what if it's about when I do this? What is this one for? Oh yeah, I don't need that. We're submitting the form now. Add event listener. Yeah, let's look at the docs for this. Okay, add it with callback. Wait. Add event listener with event listener. Oh, whether it's a function or an event listener. Got it. Yeah, event listener options. Okay, yeah, so then I want the MDM for capture options. The value will be dispatched to the registered listener before being dispatched to any target beneath into the DOM tree. I don't remember if that's what I want or not, to be honest, but maybe I want capture as true. And add event listener options. Yep. Add event listener options. New dot. Yeah. How do I make one of these? Oh, set capture. Got it. Let options equals that. Oh, mutable. There we go. Options dot set capture is true, and then I just want to pass options here. Sure, it can be a reference to options. Oh, doesn't need to be mutable? Wait. Oh, because I'm not doing a Rust mutation. That's interesting. Okay, well, whatevs. Okay. Options dot set passive to true. I don't think I want it to be a passive one. Oh, whoa, wait. Oh, no, that didn't do what I wanted. But also, I could also do, that's the other thing I was saying. Okay, let's do that though. I forgot. I can just have it submit the form. And then, I just want to get the query params here. So then get the query params on page load to set the original message. Can I get the window? Then you get the location. Probably because I need like location or something here. I'm not positive about it, but it feels like I might just need that. Yep. Not the one I wanted. Cargo add URL. Now I can get URL from URL. Found a ref. Oh yeah. Href. Well, location. Wait, it's like, what if I just get search? Search. Yeah. I don't know if I even need to parse this. Let original message query equals parse. No. Oh, okay. Those are the searches. No. URL dot get original message. Because doesn't this say it returns a string to a JS value? Yeah, exactly. Oh, this isn't a result though. That's fine. Wait, what do I need this to be then? A toString? It needs to be a string? Type string can't be index. Wait. I thought it told me it returned a result of a string. Oh. Okay. Search. I don't just want to parse the search. I want like the whole thing. URL search parameters. I wonder if that's something that I can just do this. Yeah, URL search params. Didn't yell at me about it. No, yeah, love it. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so now what are you? You're a thing. What can I do with you? URL search params. There we go. Perfect. That might be what I want. Okay, could not get the original message query param. Yeah, oh yeah, because this is gonna return like an option or something, right? Yep. Yeah, if let. Just if let the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And actually, like, I can just have this... I don't know if I need this submit callback anymore. Fucking, like... That's the thing that's a bit silly, is that, like, I can just do... Ooh, what's the max query param length? It's pretty big. Pretty big. But, like, 2048's not very big. Okay, so, like... Do I just leave this as the, like, when you do it the normaler way? We don't need to do that. If you click the format button, we like won't do that. Oh, I guess I should probably clear it out once I do that or something, maybe. Um, what does this return? A location object? A let location location dot set search to an empty string. Could not set search. Oh, okay, yeah. Set search then reloads the page though. Can I make that not happen? JS set search location no refresh. No reload. Probably want history.push state. Window history but I don't replace push state with URL or something, right? Dot push state data and title. Push state. Yeah, what is the push state thing? Yeah, what are you? So the thing that unused, great. Oh, okay, so I don't think I need this to be anything. The title, but I don't think I want that. I want push state with URL. So this is like unused. And then the URL though that I want to push is some it's not just that though, but like whatever. Let's try it. Oh, refresh page. Clear it out. Okay, but that means that it's not working. Let's see if we have an example of anyone using this. History. Yeah, that's fair. That's, of course, that's what I was gonna get. Push state. State. So how do they use that? Go to. Yeah, well, what's state? It doesn't tell me. It's just everything has a state of JS value. Yeah, null seems totally fine. So what if I just make this, let's just check this out as like, CoreyJA.com. So when is this happening? Yeah, when it loads from something. Okay, yeah, what did you yell at me for? Can't replace history. Failed to execute a history with URL can't be created from a document with origin. That, yeah, okay, well, that makes sense. Let URL equals location dot href. So the href probably has the search, which makes sense. I want like everything else. Uh, JS location href without search params. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. So, okay. I want that. Let protocol is that. Let host is that. Let URL is that. Perfect. And this is really URL without search. I'm just having fun. I'm not even sure if this is like a great idea. Oh yeah, it does work. It just pushes it there and then deletes it right immediately though, which is a little funny to see, but it's working. Okay, like that's fine. I do kind of want to know why the submit behaves so differently. Wait, is this back to... Wait. This is just calling submit, right? Wait a second. Do I have the submit handler still? Oh, I do. On submit, which prevents default. Ah, I gotcha. Yeah, okay. So if I didn't do that, then the format. Yeah, but I do want the prevent default there. But I don't know why it doesn't do prevent default on this. This submits the form, but does not call my submit callback on the form. You'll need to modify the code to trigger the submit event manually instead of calling submit directly. Oh, okay. I can dispatch a event. Let form equals that. And then submit event is make a new submit event and dispatch it. Okay. That's working now. Okay, so calling submit directly didn't work, but I can do that. That's a little silly, but this works better. Then I'm actually gonna leave all of this here because it's kind of cool, but pretty unnecessary. Extract into a function. Parse initial query param. Search params. I call them query params. They're search params. Okay, perfect. Okay, that makes sense. So I have my keyboard listener that listens for control or command enter events. Can I just inline this? It prevents default on this. I don't actually know if it needs to. Oh yeah, that'll stop an enter from happening. Yeah, we get the element of it. We get the form from it. We dispatch a submit event instead of calling the submit function on it. That makes sense. Then that gets caught by this. And we're good to go. Okay. Love it. Oops. I ended up not needing URL, so let's go back to this and drop URL as a dependency. Not using it. We're using JavaScript-y things for everything here. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, because this is just parsing everything out of there. Yeah, so there's probably actually a lot of overhead here and going in and out of JavaScript, but it's not a big concern for me. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, this is very much not the cleanest code ever, but that's okay. It kind of does exactly what we wanted it to. Does it do the to-do that I wanted it to? I think so, right? Yes. Cool. Oh, I don't want dist to be in there. Git ignore. Oh, I definitely want this. I hate this, that it defaults to not doing that. That's probably one of my least favorite things about that. Git rm dist. Oops, it's fine. Yeah, I didn't want anything in dist to make it to the git commit. Oops, okay. Get keyboard events working nicely. Also fix git ignore stuff. Okay, the last thing that maybe we want to do here is see if I can deploy this somewhere. Fly deploy static site. Like, it's not right. It's reasonably easy to do. Okay. Cool. You gonna just tell me how to do it? No. I don't really want to just have a static web server for it. Huh. Let's see. What do I want to do? Yeah, like, I guess I could just make a server. So this is gonna make some front-end dist things. So like trunk. Okay, what do we have from trunk? Actually, let's just do ls dist. What's in my dist? Yeah, okay. So the dist, I can probably just... Okay, let's make a little server. Well, I think we can get this deployed in like, call it a few minutes. Cargo new server. And these actually aren't gonna be in a workspace together. They probably should be in a workspace together, right? I don't know if they need to be though. Okay, cd to server. Cargo add Axum. Cargo add Tokyo full. Like, I probably don't really need much at all else. So Axum quick start. Take that. Okay, perfect. And then I can do like a Do I want to do include dir? I've done include dir before. Yeah, let's just do include dir. That makes sense, I think. Cargo add include dir. Oh, I didn't actually use it yet. Yeah. Front end dist directory. The manifest directory. Can I give this like a... Yeah, that's what I want. I wanted to go to front end dist. So then this is... Oh, and then I want a fallback route. To get... Oh, wait. Axum static files. Servdir allows setting a fallback if an asset's not found, but if I don't Axum serve dir in binary. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it seems like I'm just gonna build this moderately manually. Okay, that's fine. Fallback is assets. Async assets. Yep. No. I wanted that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Mime type. That's great. Is that a thing I can do? Where are you coming from? I'm not sure that's gonna work. There's no way it's gonna work. But why is it not even trying? Okay, let's make this a workspace because I think that might be part of the problem here. I'm not sure about that. Cargo. Oh, it's not gonna let me. Oh, it is. Cool. Drag it to the top. Workspace. Top members. That's what I wanted. Workspace members. Perfect. And then I think the locks don't go at the top level anymore. Whoa. Delete ya. Delete ya. I don't know. It's not working like that. Delete. Delete. Okay. Yeah, but like I want you to like let me. There we go. It's thinking cargo clippy's running. I think I'll get nicer things once it tries to build. What? Okay, we're gonna close the editor and try it again because it wasn't working. There we go. Now everything's mad at me. Cargo add, Saturday, feature derive. Let's actually not add tracing subscriber just because it's we're just trying to do something nice and quick. Yeah, so this is more like I want to do the cargo manifester. Pen pal server. Frontend. Yeah, okay, cool. Import. Import. Okay, so now the only thing U8 to HTTP body. Can I just intuit into one? Okay, yeah, I can. Okay, so now let's go to serve static because I think that's what I want. Axum serve static. So where's serve static come from? So it's from tower HTTP. Can I just jump to it? Nope. Tower HTTP server. Yep. I think I just really want the source view though. Because I want to see what you do with okay, there we go. Path to file, build and validate path. Open file. Oh, open file future then I guess? Where do you come from? Open file. Mod open file. Okay, so tower HTTP on GitHub. Serve file, that'll work. That. Mime guess. Cargo add mime. Resolver is 2. Remembers, that's fun. Members. Okay, and then this can just be the thing that I piped in here. Mime equals guess first raw map unwrap or else application octet stream. Yeah, that works for me. Wait, mime guess. Is that a different one? Add mime guess. Yeah, okay, there we go. Header value, import from there. What? From path? Oh, yeah, well, why are we as refing that? What if we just, like, freaking refed it like a normal thing? Okay. Mime. This is a header value now. Header. Header, content type, mime. Required for this, so Axum body. Okay, there we go. Can't borrow path. Why not? Oh, because we used it from there. We used it there. Get file. That can probably be a reference, right? There we go. Okay, awesome. Cargo run. This should open it up on localhost 3000. Oh, well, the root's wrong, but that's okay. Localhost 3000. Hello world. Awesome. Okay. Function serve file from a path. Yep. So then serve file, and this can be serve file of index.html, something that impulls into response. Let path from reference to a path. Perfect. Woohoo! Where am I unwrapping? Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. If file is none, return that. Oh, yeah. If let some file equals file that. Cargo run. Doesn't have any panics. Perfect. Love it. Okay, except like they're not working, but like that's okay. Get these all 404'd. Why did they 404? It shouldn't have. Does it have a dist? Well, it found that, right? So it's gotta have a dist directory at the moment. And they're all in here. Wait, that's weird. Why did the index work but nothing else did? That feels weird. Let's do... Yeah. Print out what these strings are. I bet they are not what I expect them to be. No, they are. Those are exactly what I expected them to be. Uh... Run and dister dot entries. Yeah, like what's in here? Oh, it's the leading slash. So this is path dot trim start matches. Yeah, that's the thing on string, not on this. What does get file take? It takes in that can be as ref of a path. Yeah, okay. But like path dot let new path, is that print line of new path? Is that better? I don't actually know if it's gonna be. Get rid of the mute. No such file or directory. Oh, because I can't. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Path dot file name. Yeah, okay. This is file name, and then let path equal from file name. There we go. Oh, wait a second. Can this just be a path, 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 and then like 500s. Why are you 500ing here? Yeah, okay, so I don't want to extract the path. That's fair. Okay, let's go back to this one. That's fine. It works. Okay, yeah, that'll work. I think we're good. Well, actually, let's find out. I don't know if I've ever seen. There we go. Yeah, this works great. Okay, let's create a quick Docker file for this. Um, a server that can serve the static files. Okay, so let's make a Docker file. Save this to Docker file. We're gonna put this at the root. Okay, Rust, Axum, Docker file. Just give me a basic one. Too much, too much, too much. Docker? Docker. Docker. Nope. Okay, from Rust. What am I on? 181? Not Alpine. Oh yeah. Run cargo install trunk. Copy everything over. Run cd front end and trunk build. Run cd server and cargo build release. Does this have a release flag? Man, circuit target release server. Yeah. Oh, expose 3000. Yeah. Docker build dot Docker. I think we're really close to getting this in a deployable state. I think Docker's thinking about starting. I thought it would be. Do I have a whale up here? Yeah, he's thinking. He's getting there. There we go. Okay. Does this build? That's really the thing that I'm looking for. Oh, boop. We need a new file for no target directories, no dist, no trunk. Perfect. .docker ignore. Yep. It's like I always know what I want there. Don't ever think you know better than me. I always want dot files. Okay. This is like not an efficient Docker file. That wasn't the goal here. The goal was just to do it. I guess we got to install trunk, which will take a little bit. It took a while locally. It's going to take longer in a Docker file. While that's running. Oh, freaking team-ups. Okay. While that's running. Penthouse. Cargo. Oh, nope. Fly in it. New? It's probably new. That feels like a good one. No? What do you have for me? Deploy, launch. Okay. Fly, launch. Sure. Docker file. Yes, I want to tweak these settings. Oh, okay, that's fine. Pen pal personal, yep. Yep, okay, maybe I didn't actually need to tweak these. Yep, sure, none. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, confirm. I actually didn't need to do that. Okay, I guess we're just trying it. Hee hee. Oh, setting fly API token. Oh, that might have just leaked onto my terminal. That's good to know. That's also very frustrating. Why would you do that? Silly, silly fly. Rotate fly token. Yeah, fly.io, personal dashboard. So like, does it then for this create a like a deploy token? Yes. Yes. Revoke it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Means it's gonna break the GitHub action that is set for me. Yeah, which it did set for me, which is pretty cool. And so actually let's just gone leaked. Downtime. Yep. Well, yeah, it would be downtime. You know, I revoked it, so we're good. And no downtime because the app doesn't exist yet. Hehehe. But you know, I am gonna go into secrets mode for a second and get this set up so that I can auto deploy. GitHub Actions is the name of it. Create a deploy token. There it is. Now let's go to this repo that we have and add the deploy token. I don't know why it decided just to put that on my terminal. That's just a bad setting, like, kind of no matter what. So don't love that decision, but whatever. Edit it, give it that value, set the secret. 1Password. Sign in. Okay, there we go. We can come out of secret. Wait, maybe not. Let me make sure it's gone everywhere. Okay, there we go. Now we can come out of secrets mode. No downtime needed! Only because the app didn't exist yet. So is this building fine locally? It's still trying to install trunk locally? Okay. And is this doing it on a remote builder or is it doing it locally? Remote builder, perfect. So at least they're not fighting. That's really all I wanted. Compiling trunk. Okay, we're getting there then. Oh, why am I doing this? This is silly. Trunk bin stall. That's what I want. Run cargo install cargo bin stall. I think that's right. I think cargo bin stall is what I would like for that. That's amazing. Quickly, here are one-liners for downloading. Oh, so I can just download the pre-installed one? Yeah, we'll just do it this way, I think. Let's try that. And I'm gonna quit this one locally. Let's see how long cargo bin stall takes to install. Oof, that might be more than I expected it to pull in, which is fair, but like... If I'm already been installing one thing, I guess I can do a pipe to bash script for another if I really need to. But this one should be much lighter than the full trunk, right? Right? Okay, well, let's get the script copied ready for when I need it in a moment. I wish we had a better way to handle secure versions better than .m. Yeah, right? And especially for streaming, like I really wish there was a better thing. .env like kind of works, but it's not amazing. But to answer your next question, what's binstall? Cargo binstall is a low complexity. Basically what it does is it lets people ship their binaries to GitHub releases, and then you can do cargo binstall and give it like the name of it, and it will find the right release for you from the GitHub release and install it to where Cargo would normally have put the binary. And it just makes things faster. It means I don't have to do every compile from source, basically. But it's even taking too long to install itself, so let's just use a compiled binstall. There we go. Okay, cool. Oh, I guess I need like a yes or something. Is there like a dash yes or something that I can pass here? Oh, I probably need a version. Maybe that's what I want. Oh, let's just try it this way. Try it with a dash yes. Yep, perfect. Okay, yeah, that's what I was worried about that though. Consider it that. Do you think I can do this in a Docker file? Rust up WASM-32? Let's find out. Isn't that unsafe? Absolutely. It probably does. I hope it does some signature checking, but it's definitely not nearly as safe as building from source. And architecture is different. I think it does a little bit of checking, right? It tries to find a release with the architecture named correctly, but yeah, definitely not as safe as like any other option. But it's faster. It is faster, which is what I was going for here. This is kind of a toy-ish example and project, and I felt okay with doing it. I do use binstall locally for installing tools sometimes, and yeah, that took way less time for the whole thing. It hasn't even finished compiling once over here in this flyland. So, yeah. Deploy to fly. Let's see if the GitHub action works. Oh, I don't want to be searching there. Just like, yeah. See, so it, like I think it does some architecture searching. It like looks for the versions and everything. Local is fine. I would prefer prod to be optimized as during compile time as possible. Yeah, no, totally fair. Signatures. Initial support for a little bit. So like a little bit. It doesn't look like there's a lot. It's basically just an alternative to wget, right? It's not an alternative to cargo install. And so different, different approaches, different trade-offs. I think I'm fine with using the binaries in my Docker file here. But for production, you're probably right. And with Docker caching, I probably could have lived with it installing it once and then being cached for the rest of time kind of thing. Well, it won't be the rest of time, but you know what I'm saying. But it was just taking too long, to be honest, and I was getting impatient, so we went with binstall. And it was easier to do it this way than with wgetting it, like, which is how I installed binstall. You know what I mean? So like, I just went all the way with the unsafe routes, basically here. I'm now trusting this doesn't get man in the middle, but it's SSL, so harder. But I'm trusting them not to change it. And I am then also trusting the trunk maintainers to ship a good binary of trunk that we can install. But yeah, that whole thing, Rust equals slow development, I guess still better than a nightmare of C and C++. Yeah, I will take the slow compile times at the expense of all the other things I get. And locally with a nice desktop, it's not too slow really. But I really just wanted to try to get this deployed out quicker rather than later. And it was taking way too long to install trunk in my Docker file. I could have probably not done it in the Docker file and done it outside and done it in an action or something words. This was definitely the path of least resistance to get a binary out. There's lots of things I'm doing wrong in this Docker file, to be honest. So let's go to my to-dos that I have. Fix the Docker file. Whoa, that's not helpful at all. No, I want an actual tab. Okay, fine, I'll use spaces. Don't oh yeah, use a multi-stage build. Use a multi-stage build to avoid having the Rust image be my final base. Avoid cargo bin stall. And compile trunk from source for security. Those two will be fine for now. Compile, copy the bin to Docker, call it a day. Yeah, but then I still need to compile it somewhere, right? And I do have an action now that Fly set up, so I could compile it in the action and then copy it over to the Docker file. But that's probably not going to be too much faster than just compiling it in my Docker file. And I don't want to have to compile it locally and copy it to the Docker file because I want CI to handle it for me. So trade-offs all around. I'd rather have the CI working. I'd rather have it be in like CD, I guess, right? In actions than anything else. CI for test/lints. Yeah. Pushed. Where are you? What did you? You're not going to tell me the URL here? You don't feel like telling me the URL here? Let's see. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's not a good sign. Yeah, Docker compiles are definitely slower than native compiles, but in a GitHub action, I don't really see that much of a difference, to be honest. Locally, you do get some benefits of different threads, I believe, multi-processing, multi-thready things, and just don't have to pay the overhead of Docker build, especially because nowadays Docker build uses buildx, which actually does your build inside another Docker container, so there's like multiple layers of overhead that you're paying a little bit. So definitely some stuff that, we could avoid in a different world. Are you not booting? Stopped. Oh. Wait. Machine ID. Uh-oh. What are you talking about? Failed to spawn. Oh, okay. Server. Oh, yeah, that's because that's probably not where it is. My Dockerfire built, but I didn't do it right. There we go. Add to do and fix Docker file. I didn't actually even run the Docker file locally. But this should be better. Yeah, Docker Inception, exactly. I actually had a project recently that we improved the Docker build times from like 90 seconds to 30 seconds just by not doing the Dockerception. Since we had a machine that we trusted and yada, 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 so that we were able to do the build outside. Or actually, we just are still using Docker build, but we just turned off the build X container in container stuff because we didn't need any of the goodies that came with it. And this made it a lot faster. Okay, so this is the first one. This is the in CI build, but it's not actually any better because I didn't fix the bug. But we got to let this finish, and then the next one will boot up and should be better. I could also just cancel it. It's not going to work. It's fine. Let's cancel it. This one, though, I want to work. Didn't I just click cancel? Did you decide to not cancel yourself? Cancel. Requested it to be canceled. Okay, there we go. Yay! Configurations mounted, waiting for a remote builder ready. Everything was cached, love that. Okay, so my Docker ignore is obviously wrong because this should also really, oh no, copy dot dot, and I had changed some stuff. I had changed the Docker file. So like my Docker file is being copied into the container with the copy dot dot. I don't really need it to. So like in my docker ignore, I can add Docker file. But luckily, both the front end and the server here are pretty quick. Oh, okay. I would have dismissed that if I had caught it in time, but that's okay. If you're catching this live, we might be in a Twitch ad right now. I apologize. Since we're wrapping up in a few, I wouldn't have run one if I had caught it in time, but I did not. We're pushing some of these layers. Hopefully after this, we can see our deployed app. Let's go back to the live logs. Waiting for the logs to come in. Configuring Firecracker. That seems like a good sign. Oh yeah, it's done. Love it. Okay. Refresh the page. Haha! So not all of it's working perfectly, to be honest. Oh, I don't have Tailwind installed in my container. Tailwind CLI Docker file. What do you want me to do there? Yeah, I know, but like, yeah, see, so then I can just do another one of these, which is fine, but yeah, standalone CLI in Docker image. Just what are you doing? You W get it, you chmod it, you move it, and then, oh, they're doing exactly what that other person was. Wait, is that the same person? It is literally the same person. That's funny. Yeah, this one's more recent. A Docker file. What are they doing here? That doesn't even have it in there at all. Love it. Okay. What about this one? Docker file. It's the same thing. Okay, well, that's fine. We can do it. Docker file. That needs to happen before these. So we do something like this. Run wget. Sure. That's a little bit of a funny way to do that, I feel like, but it's gonna work. Let's find out. Yeah, that seems to be working. Install Tailwind in Docker file. Oh, YubiKey. I was wondering what it was waiting for. Okay. One more build here, and then hopefully my styles will be there. There's not very many styles, but hopefully with this they will be there. And then we'll be good to go. And actually, wait a second. Did this have no styles? No, this doesn't have no styles. Oh wait, it might have been working fine. Oh no, this is styled. This is absolutely styled. What was I talking about? This has all kinds of styles. Yeah, there's all kinds of styles here. Abort, abort, abort. I don't really, like, it's not a big deal, but... What was I saying? This def has Tailwind styles. Cancel workflow. We don't need you. It's always one more build. I know, right? It's always one more build, especially when I'm trying to wrap up stream. It's always one more thing and we'll be done. We're always so close. It's always fine, but it's always one more build. I agree, 100%. But I actually didn't even need this one more build. I was just being silly. There wasn't one more build. I had this. This has the styles. This is the button would not look like this if it wasn't styled. The thing that's I guess interesting here is the min height. Min height 96. So like is min height 96 not working though? Like almost all the styles are. But where's min height 56 going? 96 or whatever. Yeah, see, so it is a little interesting. It's not all here. There is some stuff missing. But I don't think installing the CLI was going to fix it. But like this min height is just not applying. It was applying locally. And I can make these bigger for sure, but like that's not as fun. But hey, it works. I don't know. Whoa, I want the one with more things in it. Sure. It's a little more things in it. Yay! Awesome. Okay, well, let's check on this last build just because, like, let's at least see it finish. But then I think we're going to be done for the day. We got a pretty, like, you know, it's not a very complicated app, but we got a start-to-finish Rust WASM-based app, nice and deploying. We even have a kind of a server component set up to it where it just the server binary bundles everything from the front end into it. So it doesn't actually need to use the local disk at all. It's just always in the binary. I like that a lot. It is actually going to make the deploys a lot nicer in the end, where I don't even need any of the front end stuff to be copied over to the final image at all, just the final binary, which actually really would make the building outside and copying it over really nice and easy if there's just one binary to copy over in the end. But that'll all be for another day. So to wrap up, thank you for coming along and hanging out with me. I'm Corey J.A. And one last thing that I want to plug as I wrap up are these Bytes. They're these little coding challenges, code review challenges, where there is a bug hidden in these diffs, and you have to go through and try to find the bugs and try to make your way to the leaderboard. We need to remove this anonymous. We created an issue for that at the very beginning of stream, but I will do that offline. And I'm going to have another one of these released, hopefully tomorrow. I think I'll get it ready this evening. And yeah, with that, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks so much for coming along and hanging out with me. Thanks for everyone who come and hung out in Twitch chat with me. I always really appreciate it. And have a good week, and I will hopefully see everyone around here again next Sunday. Thanks, team. Bye.